get creative. How about an artist showcase right here on the lounge each and every week? Try and do this. Try and invite some artists onto the show to share their perspective on some things as well. We try and bring in some local musicians as well, and we have been blessed with some absolutely amazing music. And to my left, my next guest on our Musician of the Week segment is in the studio. Goes by West Philly Just in the streets.
Y'all?
What's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm good.
You mind if I call you Just?
Yeah.
For the purposes of this interview? That's, of course, where you'll be able to find him a little bit easier online as well. We'll get to that in just a second. Just to start out, you came here to Word Radio. You just said this. You're 18 now. You came here when you were 15.
Yeah.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
10th
grade.
I can't even believe
3 years went by that fast.
I feel like this was like last year. I feel like it was like a year ago. You came in here, and I remember I was doing some boring stuff. I was like, hey, here's how you do, podcasts or something. I don't know. It was something boring. But I remember you're creative.
Everything. I worked through everything.
First of all, you did everything, and that's what I was surprised.
Doing your work for you. You said it'd take like 3 or 4 weeks.
I sent some stuff in, and that creative energy, man. I love that about your hard work, your dedication. Like if I gave you something, I was like, hey, look, man, I need to turn this into this. There's sometimes you wouldn't even need to come back and ask me. You just be like, all right, got it. And that's how I knew. And when we all found out here at the station that you did music, I was really glad that I discovered that talent in you, and I'm really glad that you had continued to pursue that as well.
Sure.
So you rap, you also you write as well, and that's I separated those two for a reason. There's a lot of folk that talk about rapping, and we talked about this before the show, like they got bars and stuff like that. And something I think is unique about the way that you do things is that you're a writer. You're a creative writer.
Yeah.
Why do you choose that style when it could be so easy to just kind of write some random stuff down or write some rhymes down, kind of throw it over a beat? Why do you put that extra time and dedication into writing whole songs?
My favorite rapper is Tupac Shakur, so I can start with that. So listen to them. He more so focused on songwriting. He could MC. People think he couldn't MC, but he could MC too. But he focused on writing the song because that's what's going to keep the people really. And we was talking about before earlier when I said when I moved out of Philly, when I was in Florida, I was showing people I could rap. I had the craziest lyrical content, craziest metaphors and everything. But they said, "Where's your song at? Where's your hook? Where's your structure?" And that got in my head. And then when I was 16, I was steady writing songs every day. And I just kept writing.
So you like that concept of writing more of those full songs. You said you got that from your Florida connections, or like how did that kind of work?
Somebody said it to me. Somebody I know that produces some of his son and some of his friends.
Yeah.
They were doing this stuff as well. And when I came to him talking about I rap and everything, I was rapping the song. It was more so telling the story, and I just kept rapping on and on. He was like, whoa, where's your hook at? Where's this at? Where's this at? Like, and I was already getting to a habit of writing songs, but I was still in that Philly moment of just trying to have the craziest bars and the craziest lyrical. Yeah. I'd rather have good lyrics that connect to people instead of just trying to be the craziest lyricist. I don't even care about this stuff no more, except for like certain people. Like when I listen to I can vibe with it, but I'm more so like the good lyrics, but not the crazy lyrical stuff.
Right.
That's just me.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of talented spitters in Philly too, to that point, which is what I appreciate about your unique style of music. Applying that, the extra level, that changes a lot of things. Do you think there's that, does that mentorship that you experienced in that moment, and I don't know how wide that is, but that mentorship that you experienced in that moment where that person said, hey, look, I have a way that I can help this guy out, right? Like, let me give him this piece of advice that I think will really help him in his music. Does that happen a lot, would you say, in the Philadelphia hip-hop, R&B, rap scene? Do you have a lot of mentors that are willing to bestow advice like that upon younger artists, or could they maybe do a little bit better?
Some people. I can't give everybody's what everybody does, but for me, I always had mentors since I was 8, 9 years old. People talking to me 30, 40 plus, and everything they taught me back 10 years ago, 9 years ago, is starting to digest now that I'm 18. So I'm tired of people what they're saying. Like my uncle used to tell me, "Oh, he sound like this person." And before I couldn't hear it. Now I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I see."
Now I get it.
I can know exactly who you listen to. I can tell by your style. I can study your style easily. Just dissect it easily. So.
Awesome stuff, and it shows. Like you were talking too. Like I still can't believe it's been 3 years. That's crazy. It's been 3 years.
2.5 because I was 15 going on 16.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but either way, like 2.5 years. That's insane.
It's going on 3.
But you're growing as an artist. What does that? So what does that mean to the audience? You know, let's say that maybe if they haven't heard your music before today, what does that growth kind of look like? What were you when you were 15 or 16 or so, and what are you now? What kind of things you've been working on?
Switching flows, switch my flows up because I know that's what's really popular now. You have to be able to switch your flow up. But what I try to add is what my imprint is, having deeper topics on the mainstream level and on the underground level. That's what I try to do between like the gap of everything. So more, I might have a song. I just want you to really feel my music. That's what I want. Even on the mainstream, when you dance, I want you to feel what I'm saying. And when I'm flowing, you can dance. Or when you going through some bad times, you can put some music on so you can listen to it. Because if that's the case, you would turn your music off every time. If you had a bad day, you need something to get through your day.
Absolutely, you want people to feel your music, and that's, I think, the mark of a really great artist, or an artist that kind of stands above above the rest. Can I feel your music when I put your tape on? Am I just in the headphones like, oh yeah, these are great bars, or am I like, yo, that song was dope? Like, does it stick with me in a sense? And you have that ability too. I mean, we've had conversations, especially during your internship here, where I found out you're a deep guy, man. You're a thinker, and you think about a lot of the stuff that's happening around you. How would you say that, where you grew up, where you're currently, still growing up, how do all those lessons kind of shape, or how does that influence what you write in your songs?
It makes me have like more deep stories of some of the stuff I write, like more of the underground stuff. I got a song called "Tell Me Why." Hook goes, "Tell me why when I want to die, all this pain and I can't cry. It's like why try if I fail? Another brother throw a man in jail. Stash man in the book and the real criminals is off the hook." It just makes me write different stuff. Yeah. And on a positive note, even though I make like mainstream songs, I'm in a part of something like that, it gives me that little inspiration to write something. So that's what I do.
Word. Speaking with West Philly Just, we got him in the studio here to my left. Part of our Musician of the Week showcase, man. And you sent me a lot of stuff since then, and I can hear it. Like I can sort of see that you're thinking, that you're coming up with these ideas, and the way that you cross these references as well. Mad skills on that as well. Like when it comes to the future, I think, first of all, I think that you're going to be doing really great things, and I think that that's awesome. Don't forget about us little people whenever you're there, and all that other stuff.
My management love me too.
Word. I like that attitude. When you get to that point, considering, even, like I said, some of the conversations that we've had that you've noticed about your neighborhood and some of the issues and stuff, where you grew up and some of that stuff that's happening, what do you plan on doing, whenever you kind of get to that level where you're, when you can give back, you can be a philanthropist or whatever it's called, right? What does that look like to you? Do you feel like you should, kind of give back to the community, and if so, how?
Yes, because without my people, I'm nothing. So you gotta always be at that. Even when I'm at Drake's level or Pocket 96 or something like that, or Hov in 98, I still gotta have that mindset, because without them, I'm nothing.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I think, you don't lose your fan base.
Yeah.
Don't lose the people who support you. Don't lose those. And also, like right now, I feel like there's a lot of people who are looking at Meek Mill in the position that he's in right now and saying, he's from North Philly, and he obviously had this situation where he was incarcerated for a little bit of time, but now he comes back to the community, and there's a lot of people, across the community that want him to kind of be more involved. They want him to be like more political, or they want him to, kind of be involved in more issues and stuff like that. If it's not really what that artist does, do you feel like every artist, especially of color, should have a responsibility?
Come from different backgrounds and people think differently, so I don't expect that. I don't expect that. I wouldn't even try to argue with somebody, because they're in their world and I'm in my world. I feel like I should do that because I'm that type of person. But he might feel like he don't have to do it because he's not that type of person. So I'm not gonna knock anybody for not doing it. But I would like to encourage people to step out a little bit more, because we all can come together. We can really do something. Word,
and I strongly agree with that.
All these rollies and bus down rollies, we should be able to do something for the community. But at the same time, we gotta help the people that want to be up, not trying to be like negative or anything. We gotta look at it from a realistic personality. Yeah. Because looking at people like MLK and all them, they try to help everybody. You can't always help everybody. You gotta help the people that want to be helped. Yep. Some people could just be working with the enemy, just trying to wait to get you. You never know. That's what I want to do.
Yes.
I just take back and look at it, because I'm like, I don't want to be a little activist besides Hollywood and everything, but you gotta look at it from a realistic point of view, and that's what helped me get through a lot of stuff in life. So
That's deep, man. You can't help everybody. I mean, and the sad reality is, sometimes, when we talk about those people that we can't help, sometimes those are the people that we look at to our left and to our right. Sometimes they can be our closest people, or our closest friends, or whatever else like that don't kind of grip on to that concept that, hey, there's something bigger and better out there for us. We don't have to continue to. Not everyone's going to understand that, and not everyone's going to get that. Have you experienced a lot of that, going through school, graduating, getting to that other side where you're in life now? I don't like to use that word like, real life. I think it's all real. I think, as soon as you're born, it's real. But as you're kind of stepping into this next step, of life, what does that look like? Have a lot of your, where were a lot of relationships with your friends and stuff like that socially? Does all that stuff kind of change now?
Yeah, it changes because I'm in a different light. I don't hang in the hood as much anymore, stuff like that. Some of my friends are still in the hood doing stuff. And I be trying to tell them, man, you gotta get out the hood. When you get out the hood, it's a different environment. And I know how to be able to be in both and still be able to do everything. I can go in corporate America when I get older, handle my business easy, and I can still go in the streets with thugs and still be cool. So that's just the kind of person I am.
Maybe got to run this guy for public office, man. He's good in every hood. That I think that's a major key. Well, it's going to definitely help you, certainly with you continuing to build your brand, right? Reaching people with what type of message is in your music. And if you were to kind of describe or summarize your style or your music to people that haven't heard it again just yet, how would you describe that? How would you describe yourself?
I would describe it as more so versatile because I talk about different topics. I try to use different kind of beats overall and everything. So it's a bunch of different stuff. So if you don't like this side of me, the more ratchet and all that side, you like the more the conscious stuff, you can like some of the conscious stuff I also have. So if you don't like something, you're gonna like something out of me. That's right. I like.
Versatility, man. This guy's versatile. Have you gotten into like making your own beats and stuff like that? Have you gotten into that?
No, I don't think I would really want to make beats, to be honest. I think I would be like co-producing. Okay. Like if I have a sample I want to use, Jack that sample, I'll do something like that. But actually making beats, man, I want to write. I want to be like, I want to do acting and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Donald Glover type of situation where you can. I think that's the wave, honestly. Now for artists to kind of like anybody, it's not even just artists. I think it's a way for everybody. You gotta be multifaceted. We're good at more than just one thing.
Yeah, I want to do way more.
You know what I mean?
I want to get into fashion.
Word.
But stuff that I feel comfortable doing, of course. Business, starting businesses, help investing in business. I see a lot of people. I read between the lines what a lot of famous people are doing. I try to mimic that for what I do. And when I get the money rolling, that's how you really do it. I watch everybody's blueprint. Jay-Z's, that's why I was talking about earlier.
Literally.
That's what I was talking about.
I see what you did there. This is why he's a rapper, man. You come up with it.
Yeah, that's why one of the reasons, if I can't get like a deal I don't want like a regular record deal. I want to potentially have a joint venture and actually own my masters. Granted, they're going to have like a percentage of it, but only a small percentage. But I want to be able to own my masters, my publishing, everything. I know about all that. So when they come to me talking about, gotta give this, I'm not giving nothing away. If I can, I'm just going to stay independent, be honest.
And look,
I really want that mainstream life. No, be honest.
I don't blame you at all, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with chasing that at all too. There's some people that are like, oh man, you guys stay true to the game or whatever. Nah, man.
Like that all the time, man.
Nah, yeah.
It's that mentality, so I know where they're coming from.
Okay, yeah. And it's a founded mentality. Like I understand where people are coming from, and there's a lot of people. We're talking about Kanye today, right? There's a lot of people when they do reach that pinnacle or they reach that level of mainstream success, they're thinking to themselves, now I'm different. I'm him now. I don't have to do what those people do, and it changes their mentality and their mindset. But I think something that you had said earlier. Look, I'm good in this hood. I'm good in corporate America, right? Like having that mentality of you are who you are, not because of what environment that you're in, but because of who you are as a person. That's key because we're always going to be asked to, I think, go back and forth, between those two worlds, if you will. And we're going to be asked to code switch and do all this other stuff. But who are you, right? Like, who are you as a person? If you don't know who you are, or what you're supposed to represent, then you might lose track and lose sight on that. But being multifaceted, it's a part of what I think we as young people are all about. It's what we as people of color have been about in this country. We've had to be. We've been through a lot, and so being able to get through all that stuff is important. Like I said, very deep guy right here to my left as well, West Philly Just. How can we find your stuff online if we try to listen to your latest track that you got up on SoundCloud right now? How do we get there?
Well, the official video for Big Drip is out now. I'm just trying to get the marketing set up so I can get it blown up like I really want to. But it's on SoundCloud, it's on Apple Music, Tidal, it's on most of all the main streaming platforms and everything. Just took a lot to do it though, because it's a lot of.
So you're finding out about the industry side, or the business side.
I've been studying all that
of everything.
I was more into it than my schoolwork, so that's why I left school.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, listen, I understand how the passion. It's the passion though, right? Like you're pulled away by the passion.
Yeah, like I was more focused about the boring aspects of the music industry, so I'm not in school doing that. I got more patience reading about that or writing a song for a couple hours and doing the essay. Yeah. So I might as well do that.
I understand how it is.
I didn't tell my mom, so she gonna be mad when she found out I'm leaving school. But
well, we'll set it out. We'll set it out with moms a little bit later. But I think following your passion is something that's clear. You do that and you're serious about this. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't think that's even necessarily an outlandish thing that you just mentioned. I think me too. I think everybody should do it. Not necessarily. I'm not necessarily saying walk out
to the extremes of myself, but you should
right.
do it though.
But following your passions is something that you got to be very serious about, because there's so many distractions. There's so many ways to pull you away and to get you into lanes where you just fit in the world, and the world isn't full of people that can just fit into grooves and
I can
stuff.
fit into grooves easily. I noticed that at a young age with myself. I noticed I could do that.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want that to numb you. You don't want it to suppress your creativity. And I think you're a real creative dude. I think you should absolutely keep this stuff up. And if there's anything that we can do, obviously here at Word, whenever you have a new release, I want you to let me know. I want you to send me over a version so we can play it on our Tuesday showcase and all that other good stuff.
Next.
Absolutely, man. And I know that you're capable of doing a lot of great things. You've already done some great things too, so I want you to keep that up. And for all the people out there that, again, haven't heard it yet, they want to hear a cut of it, a clip or some more content, maybe a video, how do they get to your pages online?
On Instagram and Twitter, my name is WestPhilly_Just. I don't got my Facebook profile actually set up. I have my Facebook, but I don't actually have my business one set up.
Not the business
getting everything,
one, yeah. We'll get there.
Everything set up. Yeah. WestPhilly_Just on everything. That's where you can find me at.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming in tonight. For sure. You're our musician of the week. West Philly Just in the studio right here. Can't wait to have you back on again, man. I know you got more great stuff coming up, so we'll be looking forward to that for sure. Make sure you go check out his SoundCloud at WestPhilly_Just. That's WestPhilly_JUS as well. So we'll hear more from him coming up in the future. That's right. Word.